Meal timing matters to the extent that, well, if you're thinking about meal timing, how you're applying the particular nutrients. Two things that I keep in mind when it comes to anything, I guess that's like meal timing, is the amount of time that passes between meals and the activities that one is partaking in, and how the timing of the meals and what is comprised of those meals, but how the timing of the meals affects those activities. So when it comes to how the body responds to a lack of food, we have many resources to manage that. But if within that period of a lack of food, there's an increased demand for exercise activity, we have ways to manage that. But typically, if those ways are like, if we're constantly creating that demand but not meeting that demand, those ways can actually lead to worse outcomes. So what am I saying? If you're going a long time between meals and you're exercising a lot, the thing that's the way the body's going to provide and try to sustain itself with energy is it's going to drive up sugar making through increasing cortisol, stress hormones, and then dumping sugar into the bloodstream to try to meet this need, because it's a stressful situation. And so the body will use stress hormones and stress things to meet that demand. So that's a long time. So that's part of nutrient timing. The second thing is, if you are being active, you're trying to you can meet those demands properly by timing what you consume around the workout window, or the activity window. So depending on the demand, like, a lot of people that either run marathons or do cycling for extended periods, Tour de France, those kind of things, many kms, they need a constant source of energy that's going to replenish their aerobic system. And so that tends to be, quick carbs that are easy to digest. So those are examples of meal timing, where in that case it's pretty immediate because they're burning through a lot of energy. Whereas those of us that are doing predominantly anaerobic based training, where it's more strength training, maybe we can consider the mix of aerobic and anaerobic, like group training, where it's a mixture of body weight, calisthenics, and things of that nature. Those demands are a little bit more, they're sorry, not a little, they're a lot more intense, and they're a lot shorter, the duration. And so the demand for immediate energy is there, but the demand for energy beyond just what's available from our regular system is increased. So timing the meals around that type of activity makes a huge difference. When it comes to bodybuilding or body sculpting, for example, taking carbohydrates around the workout window is a very effective way to get the beneficial effects of the energy production, or the energy from the carbs. It's also a very effective way to stave off the effects of excessive carbohydrates, because your muscle sensitivity to taking those carbs is increased during training, especially bodybuilding style training. And then maybe a third, taking carbs can help to promote the recovery, because it's restoring, along with restoring the nutrients, some of the carbs that were used, the way the body increases insulin production, it makes it more sensitive to the nutrients being pulled into the muscle. So if you're consuming those carbs with proteins, let's say after a workout, then those proteins will be pulled in alongside those carbs to help the restoration process from the training, if you're putting this around the workout window. So in those ways, nutrient timing does make a difference. But what I've just described, especially that last part, is much further down the road when it comes to just getting people healthy. The general population just starting out, exercising maybe for the first time, maybe intensely for the first time, it's not as helpful, because there's still so much that needs to be put in place in regards to how their metabolism even works. Are they eating enough? Are they eating enough of the right things? Are they drinking enough water? Are they sleeping, etc., etc.? So nutrient timing matters, but it's as we progress, it matters more. So generally speaking, it's not as important to focus on early on in the training as is making sure they're sleeping well, making sure they're drinking clean water, making sure that they're eating good food that's healthy for them, and then exercising well.